Lobos fans had at the pit ended in heartbreak. A buzzer beater blow against Nevada. Tonight, could Cupid's arrow aid a heartwarming return? College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. From one of the glorious venues in college basketball, the legendary pit, it's New Mexico and Wyoming. Who would have forecasted the success the Mountain West has enjoyed this year? National darling, top 5 in the net. They have 5 of the top 50 net teams in the country, including New Mexico, arguably the biggest positive surprise. Wyoming, the biggest negative surprise. And we welcome you down to the floor alongside the PG and Mike O'Donnell. I'm John Sadak, our CBS crew. And Mike, this is a matchup for New Mexico, losers of 3 in a row, that feels like a must-win to keep those bubble tournament hopes alive.
Yeah, after setting the college basketball world on fire, going 14-0, New Mexico lost 3 in a row, like you just said. Have to take care of business at home, no question about it, from a resume standpoint.
And they will be without their point guard. Jalen House did try to go and shoot around, tried to warm up. He has been ruled out tonight.
A big key because he's one of the best three-point shooters, and he's second in the Mountain West in steals. He is a two-way player. They're going to miss him tonight.
And that puts more on the top scorer in the Mountain West, Jamal Mashburn Jr.
He's coming off a 32-point effort versus Air Force. He's a top 25 scorer in the country at 20 points per game. Old school mid-range basketball for Jamal Mashburn.
For the Wyoming Cowboys, they're about as snake-bit as they come on many levels, but they do have a consistent cog who is playing with a bum wing in Hunter Maldonado.
I love watching Hunter Maldonado on film. He's such a unique point guard in that he can hurt you from 3, and he's one of the most efficient post-up players in the Mountain West. They're going to be hanging his jersey in the rafters in Laramie one year. This is one of the all-time great Wyoming players. We're in for a treat watching him tonight.
He'll be playing with that brace on, an injury suffered last time out. Will Wyoming get off the schneid on the road and secure their first road win of the year? Or do the Lobos get a much-needed victory and enjoy a heartwarming embrace on Valentine's Day? The pit is rocking once more. Cowboys and Lobos, a rematch on this regular Mountain West season. The head man for Wyoming, now in his 3rd campaign, Jeff Linder. His team has lost 9 straight road games going back to last year. They haven't won on the road in just over a calendar year. Take a look at the starters. Donovan Dent will get the starting point for New Mexico. Late breaking news, though. We do get word that Jalen House is going to remain dressed on the bench, and in an emergency, foul situation or injury, he might try to go on the bad hamstring. Look out for Xavier Ducell of the Cowboys' 41 made triples on the year. Richard Pitino, he is a straight shooter, and he has taken a Lobos team that won 6 games the year before he arrived into the top 25 in year 2. And as he told us today, Mike O'Donnell had told his team, if the season ended today, you would be in the NCAA tournament.
But you better take care of business on your home court.
Tap 1, Donovan Dent has it. We are underway. Jamal Mashburn, that mid-range, sweet.
That's his game, Jamal Mashburn. He is 2nd in the nation in mid-range shooting efficiency. He shoots 52% in the mid-range. Who says the mid-range is dead, John Sadak?
Very much alive, vibrantly so through his talent as he defends against Hunter Maldonado. Tries to back him down. Help comes from Alec. Reversal, Wenzel, 9 to shoot. Maldonado, Alib, Thompson releases. Hits heel, long board to Wenzel. Cowboys maintain. Thompson leaves, screens for Ducell. Feed the screener, Thompson on high. Got it.
Even with the extra possession, the ball movement was incredibly crisp for Wyoming. It was something that Coach Pitino talked about in shoot-around today. We have to be better job in help defense and on the ball.
Lobos have lost 3 in a row, 4 of 5. They fell at home last they took this floor. A buzzer beater. Three-point response off target for Javante Johnson. Maldonado, you see that big bulky brace on his left arm. He hurt it a little more than a minute into the second half of their game last time out. That was Saturday at Boise. He came back around the midpoint of the half and didn't quite look clean the rest of the way. And an offensive foul.
We did ask Coach Linder about that. He goes, I'm just really glad it's not a shooting arm. At least he's going to be able to shoot the ball, dribble, and live dribble pass with his right hand.
Well, the foul goes on Ducell, his first. And Wyoming is terribly thin. 8 scholarship players available, including Kenny Foster, who hasn't played since mid-December against Dayton.
16 different starting lineups this season that Coach Linder's had to use. It's the most in the country.
Long two on True. Rebound Maldonado. Had to bang with the much larger Udeze. Maldonado brings it up. For the Cowboys, the three-point shot means so much.
They're going to make at least 9 a game. They want to attack the paint. If they don't get anything in the paint, they're going to shoot a lot of threes.
Odin couldn't finish. Alex secures the board. Dent on the trot. Alec up top, reluctant dribble. Muscles closer. Showing the moves. Rebound Ducell.
And you'll see New Mexico, they'll shoot early in the shot clock. They would like to play fast. They have a high tempo. Wyoming's going to slow it down, take their time.
Maldonado shot off, out of bounds. O'Donnell rules. How do you defend Jamal Mashburn Jr.?
First, you have to make every catch difficult. He's going to come off pin down, stagger screens. You got to be able to ride his top side, shrink the floor. You got to be in gap. Don't give any driving lane up, and don't be afraid to mix up your coverage. Anytime a player sees one look all game long, he's going to find a way to carve you up. All great scores too. You got to mix it up and keep guessing.
Wenzel hit. Was he behind the arc there? So Mashburn the foul, and that is a 3-shot foul.
This little DHO dribble handoff into a 3. Wyoming runs a lot of dribble handoff inside of their half-court offense action. You see Maldonado gives him a screen, and then that handoff acts as kind of like a second screen. Difficult to guard as a defender. You got to guard the pin down to the dribble handoff. Not easy.
Now, Wyoming is the team second worst in the Mountain West, 69% at the line. But Wenzel is excellent. He's an 85% free throw shooter. Transferred in from Utah. Also brings outside shooting. He's been at double figures in the back-to-back ball games, and he hits all 3.
It may sound very simple and obvious, but one thing that's really important for Wyoming getting to the free throw line, it acts as an extra timeout. It's a depleted roster. Maldonado can take his extra breath.
Udeze getting fronted and denied hard by Thompson. Dent releases, hits heel, Udeze wins it. Udeze denied repeatedly in the loss to Air Force last time out. Great in the lane turnover. Wenzel, Maldonado thought about the transition triple. Thompson, 3-ball.
That's exactly one of the reasons why Maldonado is top 5 in the history of the Mountain West in assists. Turned down a good look for a great look for his teammate.
Patino animated and upset on the bench. Defense has been the dialogue for days. Dead on the drive, short, and Wenzel wins it. After their loss to Air Force on Friday, Falcons shot 66% from the field, 5th highest of any forward program history for the Lobos. Richard Pitino said the offense was fine, the defense was abysmal.
Yeah, Air Force had 21 assists on 35 made field goals. They moved it any which way they wanted to, similar to what we're seeing for Wyoming tonight.
Out of bounds, timeout of the floor. The Lobos getting a test from Wyoming, a 7-point edge for Linder's Cowboys.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. And by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
On a day we celebrate the feelings of connection, give us a feel, the context for where New Mexico stands on its season and its hopes to return to the NCAA tournament.
Well, I think Coach Pitino said it correctly to his team this morning in shoot-around. He said, look, if the season ended today, we're in. However, those 3 straight losses still has New Mexico on the bubble. They have a net ranking of 48. You look at some of those quality wins. That St. Mary's win, huge, absolutely huge. They're projected as an 11th seed right now. One of the reasons why they're on the right side of the bubble is I thought Coach Pitino scheduled unbelievably well because they have some really great under-the-radar wins. Southern Utah, San Francisco, Iona. Those are really good mid-major programs that he helped prepare his team for. It always helps going 14-0 to start the season as well.
And they also have some big chances. They will be at Boise State on the 22nd. They'll be at home for a rematch with San Diego State on the 25th, but they cannot lose to a Wyoming team that hasn't won on the road in over a year.
You think about those 3 straight losses that New Mexico has against Utah State, who's playing well. They lost to Nevada by 1, and Air Force, they were without House in that game.
Tip ball, Lobos maintain, rebounding decidedly Wyoming early. Mashburn off on the triple, Dussel tippy toes and rebounds. And for the Cowboys, when we came back from the media, they had been doubling up New Mexico in rebounds, and 2 offensive boards led to a pair of triples and 6 points. Maldonado off the fake. Wenzel 5 to shoot. Thompson all day. And rebound Udeze, who makes a difference on the glass.
John, I don't know. I haven't seen one bad look from 3. Wyoming's getting whatever they want in the half court right now. What a block by Maldonado.
And the presence of mind falling onto his backside to flip it out.
He is one of the most underappreciated point guards in the country because he's one of the smartest point guards in the country. Right on cue. Catch, rip, inside-out cross. Come on, this kid is good.
A super talent, preseason all-league performer. Mashburn might have been forcing a few looks. Udeze kicks corner. Alec, 3 ball off. And Wyoming has carved out space on the glass.
In a non-cliche sense, Wyoming is just playing harder than New Mexico right now. They're cutting harder on offense. They're boxing out virtually every single shot that goes up. That's something that Coach Pitino talked about at shoot-around to his guys and to us. We need our spirit back. We need that toughness, that grit that we had in that 14-0 stretch.
Maldonado whips it back to Thompson, 5 to shoot. Dussel saw a seam, flip back to Thompson, 1 to shoot. Shot clock violation. And the Cowboys a couple of subs. Caden Powell will come in along with Nate Barnhart.
Here's a good look at the block from Maldonado. Comes from the weak side, pins it. He's falling down, gives it to a teammate so he doesn't travel. Love those high IQ plays from Maldonado.
Udeze, who was denied the ball regularly against Air Force. Alec trying to post. Udeze dropped the shoulder, whistle. Offensive foul.
That was the freshman, Caden Powell, number 44 for Wyoming. Coach Jeff Linder loves Powell's IQ on defense. He says his defensive instincts and his ability to rotate in spacing situations on defense is some of the best I've ever coached in a freshman.
Maldonado surveys. Wenzel, defended by Mashburn, and help picks the pocket. Johnson other end. Misses coast to coast. Tip is off. And ripped down by the freshman Caden Powell. New Mexico is down 11-2. 11 unanswered by Wyoming. This is a Lobo team that's elite scoring on the season. Wrapped around force, tipped out of bounds. Lobo ball. Now the Cowboys are 0-6 on the road this year. All in league play. Did not play a non-conference game and a true road game. It's been 9 straight going back to last year. The last true road win was over a calendar year ago.
Incredible. Just absolutely incredible. They only have played 3 games this season where everybody on their roster has been healthy.
Mashburn sticks it.
That mid-range is so pure from 17 feet. One of the most fluid-looking energy transfers on a jump shot you will see in college basketball.
KJ Jenkins, the shooter, also subbed in. He seemed a little confused defensively as the Cowboys came down the floor. Wenzel shaping up, gets fed, size mismatch.
Good rotation that time defensively.
Barnhart, bounce down low. Powell has it knocked loose. 2 to shoot. Wenzel just gets it off in glass. Shot clock violation. That's the second in the early going for a Wyoming team that has dominated play.
It is interesting to see when a shot goes down for New Mexico, how that transfers to their energy and toughness on the defensive end. Coach Pitino said, we're going to make shots. Our offense is good. I like where our offense is at. We can't let bad shooting affect our defensive effort.
Mashburn, the body control. Shot off. Alec, well-timed follow.
It's a reason why he's second in the Mountain West in rebounding. It's not just on the defensive end. Alec can crash the offensive glass.
Well, after missing 11 straight field goal tries, a couple of makes, Wenzel in and out. Alec has it. Dent on the push. Maldonado denies. And Kenny Foster is out there, 22, jogging along the far sideline, wearing the mustache. He is a shooter who has been battling a back ailment. Last played December 17th against Dayton. Out of the corner, the man they call the matchstick. Hits heel, Maldonado to the table.
John, you were ready to take a charge on that. You almost got up. You were in perfect position.
Trying to make sure the shoulders are square. Don't move the feet. Maintain verticality. 4 to shoot. Foster forced to hoist. He hits! His first game in 2 months. And this crowd has grown eerily silent. Lob to Alec. And one!
Back and forth we go in the Mountain West, but right now it's been Wyoming and Foster ripping a 3. They're getting anything they want in the offensive end. The Cowboys looking good.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. The Lobos have drawn within 6. Cowboys led by 9 early. A Lobo team that shoots brilliantly on the year. A woeful start tonight.
Yeah, just 4 of 17 from the field for 23% from a field goal percentage standpoint. They cannot seem to find a rhythm. The most concerning stat, though, so far in this game, John, is that New Mexico has not taken a free throw. They are 7th in the nation in free throw attempts. They shoot 25 free throws a game. When I think about grittiness and toughness, not just on the defensive end, but offensively, this is a New Mexico team, and if they're not shooting the ball well, they attack, and they attack aggressively. We haven't really seen that in the first half so far for the Lobos.
How much of that is the absence of Jalen House to this point?
I think it's partial, but you can't just lean on one player to be great on, to have your offense be great and your defense be great. Coach Pitino talked about that. He's vitally important. He is one of the best players in the Mountain West, no question. But if he's not playing, it can't affect our efforts. That's the key.
Foul before the timeout was to Kenny Foster, his first, and one free throw for Alec, who has been the spark, it seems, for New Mexico. Smoke looms over the Cowboy front court. Powell eyeballed the post. Maldonado curls to the ball. Kick back to Thompson. Sharp dribble. 9 to shoot. Ducell bumped by Alec. Stepping back deep. 3. Miss, and Udeze the board. And that's a rare one and done. 9 of the Cowboy points have come on second chance looks. Mashburn wide open. Yes.
Uh-oh. That's a guy only needs to see one go down before he gets hot, and that came off his hand. Pure and fluid.
His first made triple, Lobos within a bucket. Maldonado. Miscommunication, Mashburn threads the needle, dead, tie game! Timeout, Cowboys!
Welcome back to Albuquerque. All tied up here because defense leads to offense for New Mexico. They play with the 26th fastest tempo in the country per Ken Palm. They love to get out, run, fill the lanes. All of a sudden, when it looked like New Mexico was off to a really slow start, we got a tie ball game here, John Sadak.
8-0 run in just over a minute. And Mashburn right at the heart of it. Maldonado gave it away on the last possession. Turnovers have mounted on the Cowboys. Maldonado has been smothered when he's had the ball. Twisted shot off. The box was there for Thompson, but he didn't track it down.
Last couple possessions for New Mexico. Every shot is contested. They're finishing it with a box out. Looks have become a lot more difficult for the Cowboys. No question the defensive intensity has ratcheted up here for the Lobos.
There is a lot of physical fracas going on in the post. Dent mid-lane, floats it home.
I like Donovan Dent's game. Just a freshman, Mr. Basketball in California.
Now remember, these teams met New Year's Eve. New Mexico was top 25 at the time. That was a tight game. 12 ties, 9 lead changes. Came down to a point. Ducell lost it on the way up. Bumped by Udeze. Nasty crossover. Dent lost the ball. It goes off the Cowboys. It'll be Lobo ball.
Ooh, I'm actually not sure about that one.
So the Lobos have scored the last 10 in a row. They scored
a 10-0 run for New Mexico, with makes in 6 of its last 8 from the field. Mashburn, tipped by Ducell, tipped and taken away. Odin trying to Euro, fouled by KJ Jenkins. That'll be on the floor.
Jeremiah Odin gets his hand in the passing lane. Somewhat of a lackadaisical pass from Mashburn. 6'8", can initiate a fast break. Big time junior for Wyoming Cowboys.
Maldonado fronted by the length of Johnson. Ducell, who's a shooter, off the jab step. Hounded by Dent. Loses handle, poked by the Lobos. 22 to shoot. Baseline entry to come. Maldonado jogs over.
This lineup is called floppy action off baseline out of bounds. You can pick going off a stagger or a single dump down. He chooses Odin, goes off the stagger and rips a 3. Great execution for Wyoming out of their floppy action.
Cowboys back up a point. Jenkins, an excellent shooter, runs end line. Dent has it stolen away by Ducell. Kick back to the trailing Thompson. Maldonado wide open on the wing, saying, give me the ball. Right to left crossover. Whips in corner. Ducell. Off target. Thompson weak side. Maldonado wants it. Up top, pops a 3. Foul on the act of a 3. That's the second foul in the act of a triple committed by the Lobos in the first half.
This is great. On Valentine's Day, I'm loving everything about this game because we got offensive execution. Out of the floppy action, off base and out of bounds, you kidding me? Cowboys up 1.
New Year's Eve in Laramie, New Mexico, in a back-and-forth game with the Cowboys. 12 ties, 9 lead changes. Jamal Mashburn Jr. a game-high 20 despite a poor shooting day. Ethan Anderson at 17 for Wyoming. He's no longer a Cowboy. Mashburn hit 2 big threes in the last 20 seconds. This heat was off, but New Mexico has been a bit off ever since surviving Wyoming.
As you can see, new year, new challenges for New Mexico. First 14 games versus the last 11 games. Clearly a different scoring margin. Those first 14 games, they had 9 80-point games. Their last 11, only 4. Again, I don't think the offense is the issue for New Mexico. It's their defense. Coach Pitino's harped on it. He's talked about it in the media. He talked about it with us at shoot-around. It's very evident. Need more grit, more toughness on the defensive end, particularly help defense for New Mexico.
First of 3 is good for Maldonado. Friday, 2:45 Eastern. It's a must-see Serie A thriller as Sassuolo takes on the dominant leader of the pack, Napoli. Don't miss the kickoff here on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount Plus. Now, the Cowboys have been fouled in the active and triple twice. They've made all of them. So second chance points, now a dozen for Wyoming because 2 of those free throw trips came in the wake of offensive boards.
And they're getting really good looks from 3. 4-12 for 3 for Wyoming right now.
Jenkins, a great shooter. Left open, rare miss. Udeze wanted it more, fouled on the way up. And he clutches at his face thereafter. Looked like he might have been raked across the eye.
Udeze has been a superb addition to this New Mexico roster. 6'8" senior. Plays with a ferocious amount of energy, always crashing the glass. 9 double-doubles this season for Morris Udeze, the most in the Mountain West.
Now that foul goes on Xavier Ducell. That means the most voluminous outside shooter for the Cowboys has 2. He is subbing out. In comes the 7-foot, 190-pound freshman, Nate Barnhart. How does this change things?
Well, they're clearly not going to be able to run all the action they want for Ducell. However, there are still capable 3-point shooters on the floor. The one thing about Jeff Litter's offense, if you're open, you're going to shoot it.
Barnhart does get the board. Barnhart at 7 foot tall, came to campus at 170 pounds.
Then call him matchstick for no reason.
Odin trying to muscle. Opposite, Thompson, wing 3.
You were wondering how that was going to affect Wyoming's offense, but it's the ball movement that's been really good. That hasn't changed at all.
How does New Mexico counter that?
They have to do a much better job and help defense on closing out the shooters. It's not that they're over-helping, they're just late. They're not getting out there quick enough.
Powell trying to fight through the screen. That'll be Wenzel.
Here's another good look. It's a simple kick out, and Udeze just doesn't get out there quick enough and hard enough. Those have to be more aggressive closeouts.
Alec in and out. Udeze foul on the push. Trying to look for the loose ball. That'll go on Hunter Thompson as his first.
Udeze crashing the offensive glass. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the Mountain West.
Mashburn, tough shot. Cowboys got it. Maldonado walks it up. Wyoming has led for almost 11.5 minutes. Odin down the lane, tie up. Jump ball, yes. It'll be Cowboy possession. Jenkins, after a brief breather, is back in. Mashburn's going to go to the bench.
But that was a nice drive by Odin. There's a really good jab step. Good tie up there on the loose ball.
Maldonado finds Odin on the wing. Wenzel. Lead for Thompson again. Yes! That's his 4th made 3. Alec wanted it. Dent pops it. Misses. Weak side. Udeze out of bounds off the Cowboys. Lobo ball. Wyoming on a 12-1 run in the last 2+ minutes. Udeze coughs it up. New Mexico has not hit a shot in over 3 minutes. And a foul. That's going to be Jenkins. It'll be his second.
Take a look at this last three. Wenzel's going to go low, but then he's going to absolutely come up to the top for a kick-out three.
Maldonado twisting banker. It's a 14-1 run by a Wyoming team that's winless on the road for the last year. Jenkins feeds Udeze. Furious dunk. It almost feels like Wyoming should be up 20. They have been that dominant for stretches. Maldonado, tough shot. Alec weaks up.
It is a tough shot. That's a normal shot for him in post-up. You have to remember, he's 6'7" at the point guard.
Alec releases. Misses. One and done again for the Lobos. Ginger stride across the line by Maldonado. Calling for a screener. Odin obliges. Feed the screener. Odin. Thompson was banging for it in the corner. Lost handle out of bounds.
Yeah, Wenzel actually ran the wrong play. Maldonado was calling for a stack ball screen set. Wenzel was unsure of what to do. Miscommunication there by the Cowboys.
The Lobos have gone ice cold again, missing 5 of their last 6 from the field. They only make the dunk. Dead behind a big body, hits iron, tap sideline out of bounds, Wyoming ball. The Cowboys making noise in Albuquerque. They have dominated the first half against one of the best in the Mountain West. Adorable. 28-19, Wyoming the lead at New Mexico. Headed your way, AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Sheldon the Mac, John Rothstein, Gary Parrish standing by in our New York studios to get you up to speed on all of the night's college basketball action. It's AT&T at the half. And on this Valentine's Day, I understand you have to bring a card for everyone, and you have
a team that I love nationally. This is Purdue. Obviously, I think they're the best team in the country. 23-3, 7th in adjusted offense. Team that broke my heart, Florida State. They were picked 5th in the ACC. They're 10th in the ACC right now. Considering all the talent they have, I'm shocked at the Florida State season, and I still can't figure out Kentucky. They were playing really hard to get for me. You think about the Kentucky Wildcats, 16-9. They are 4th in the SEC, but you know, they lose to Alabama and South Carolina in back-to-back games. The sky is falling. Then they have 4 wins in a row, one of those against Tennessee. They lose to Kansas. They beat Ole Miss in Florida, but then they lose to Arkansas and Georgia. I don't know who the Kentucky Wildcats are, Joe.
Well, the Cowboys know that they have been the harder playing team. Wenzel tumbling out of bounds, trying to save that miss. Got hit and fouled. That's going to go on Joshua Alex as his first.
Yep, I understand that. Over the back on Alex. Called by the referees.
Thompson. His heel. Alex got it. The limited success for New Mexico. Yes, Mashburt's gotten his shots, but it feels like it's been fed by the big men in Alec and Udeze.
Well, they're doing it from the 3, not just inside, but from the 3 as well. I think they're screening exceptionally well to get themselves open in pick and pop scenarios.
Javonte Johnson.
just kind of felt big for the Lobos, that shot.
He's been coming on of late. Last year, he was their best outside shooter at 46%. He entered today at 29%. A deep look for Wenzel.
Coach Patino said Johnson's confidence is great right now. I'd be surprised if they look for him again. Had him on the trail initially.
He's been shooting exceptionally well the last few weeks. Jenkins comes to a stop. Pop and miss. Odin's got it. A little more than 2 minutes left this half. What are you thinking about on each side here?
Well, offensively for Wyoming, you're getting most looks that you want. I think defensively, you just have to be careful that Mashburn doesn't get going. In New Mexico, I think they need to attack the paint more. Stop settling for jumpers.
Three ball off Maldonado. Under 2 minutes.
Maldonado got away. He got away with a hook there. Absolutely got away with a hook, and Coach Patino screaming about it. But he's also talking to Mashburn and saying, we have to guard the ball. We have to do a better job guarding the ball.
Wyoming up 8. Hunter Thompson, a season-high 4 made triples.
Hunter Thompson has hit over 163s in his career, 7th all-time at Wyoming. The reason why it's important for him to knock down shots right now, particularly threes, it takes so much pressure off Maldonado. In particular, Hunter Thompson at 6'10", the senior, coming off a game in which he did not have a bucket. Great sign for Wyoming.
Now, Richard Pitino was incredibly unhappy. Stomped onto the floor, ordering a timeout, and beckoned his team in for some teaching moments while we were away. Jenkins rolls off iron, out of bounds. It'll be Cowboy ball under 90 seconds.
John, I think you would agree. You can feel the pensive nature of the crowd at the pit right now. They are waiting for this team to get that same spirit and grit and toughness they had when they started the season 14-0.
Maldonado tumbled. Jenkins the pick. Johnson other end. Shovel to Mashburn. Jenkins. Udeze in the high post. They'll run offense. Johnson wide open. Yes!
You said it, John. He's shooting the ball really well as of late. His confidence is sky high.
He is 8 for his last 15 from 3 in the last couple of weeks. Wenzel, floater response. The offense just feels cleaner and easier for Wyoming.
Fluid is the word I would best use to describe what the offense is. That was their 5-out offense. Again, that pin down into a DHO. New Mexico can't blow anything up right now. They can't blow any screens up.
Do you consider holding for a shot with about a 6-second differential, or is it best shot?
It's always what Jamal Mashburn is, whatever shot he wants to take.
How about a deep contested three, all fired. Rebound Wyoming with time. Maldonado. 6 seconds.
Oh, the hezzy. Oh!
Tie up. Jump ball. Arrow favors New Mexico 1.2. Maldonado grimaced a bit in that tie-up with Udeze. Length of the floor. And Wyoming's going to get bigger, subbing in the 7-footer Nate Barnhart. He fronts against Alec playing quarterback. Their best shooter is Jenkins at midcourt wearing 0. It's Jenkins in midcourt. Over the backboard. A first half that saw Wyoming dominate Richard Pitino's team in their building.
Wyoming's offense was fluid. The ball was moving. There was screening action. They were cutting. They were moving, hitting threes. They looked good.
After the break, Brent and the gang in New York. It'll be AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. College basketball. basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Cowboys, the 7-point edge, 3-point shooting, part of the difference in this halftime lead. Wyoming winless on the road this year. The average margin at halftime of the year, they've been down 11 per at the break, and they are up 7. We welcome you back to the table. John Sadak alongside the guard, Mike O'Donnell. What stood out to you in the first?
Wyoming's offense, fluid, really, it wasn't just simple action. It was that they were getting wherever they wanted. New Mexico's defense has to tighten up in the second half.
And that brings us to a greater look at Hunter Maldonado, as we take a look now at the Worth a Watch, brought to you by Principal Financial Group. Hunter Maldonado, definitely a player you want to keep an eye on in the coming weeks.
Even though Maldonado didn't hit a 3, he finished with 9 points, 2 assists, and 2 huge blocks in the first half. Such a unique player at the point guard position at 6'7". He was really good.
Hunter Maldonado, definitely worth the watch, presented by Principal Financial Group. 9, 5, and 2, playing with that brace on his left arm as Wyoming looks for its first win at the pit in 7 years. The last time Wyoming came to Albuquerque and won, Josh Adams was a senior. He dropped 38 in 2016.
Something else to keep in mind, Hunter Maldonado did not have a foul in the first half. Their previous matchup, Maldonado fouled out.
Ducell buried on the bench in foul issue a lot of the first half. Arms up, the message from the New Mexico bench. Odin muscling in, twisting shot, rolls down. Wyoming has led by as many as 11. New Mexico has led for just barely over 1 minute of gameplay. Allen, backdoor.
I like front court players like Alec who are fearless along the baseline attacking the rim. Doesn't shy away from contact.
Comes with Cameron Bairstow returning for a game for the first time since he was a senior in 2014. Part of that super talented squad when he muscled a path to the cup with regularity.
That was a little mouse in the house action. Wyoming hunting Jamal Mashburn in the half court. They got the switch they wanted and went inside, drew foul.
It'll be his second. Baseline trigger, Wenzel springs free. Oh, nice lead. Maldonado. Maldonado to double figures. He joins Thompson. They have 11 and 12 respectively.
Odin's doing a nice job of blowing up the ball screen with Den at the top of the key.
Udeze desperately wants the ball and gets fed on the bounce. And a foul. Thompson, his second.
Wenzel was initially open on this baseline out of bounds play for 3. Turns it down because he's an open baseline drive. Udeze needs to do a better job of cutting off the baseline there.
Johnson. That might have been altered on the way up. Won by Wenzel. There has been such poise to Maldonado tonight.
That's what he's done in the last 3 years, Wyoming. He's one of the greatest players in the history of Wyoming basketball, and a lot of it has to do with his poise.
And Mashburn got locked up with a much larger Wenzel. That's going to be 3 fouls on the top scorer in the Mountain West. And immediately KJ Jenkins to the table. Remember, they're already without Jalen House with a hamstring. He has yet to take off his warm-up.
That's just a little too much physicality.
Ducell, catch, release, and splash it down.
Looked like that floppy action again on baseline out of bounds for Wyoming. They ran it twice, it's worked twice.
Largest lead for Wyoming. Udeze wants it, fronted hard by Thompson. High-low lob, he catches and creates.
Udeze posts up so hard within 5 feet of the rim. Incredibly strong athlete. Nice D by Alec.
He's got Maldonado. Ducell bumped by Udeze, coughs it up, tracked down. 8 to shoot. Deep three. Yes! The twine barely budges. And Xavier Ducell.
That is the 8th made three for Wyoming. They average 8 threes a game. There's 17 left.
It has gone from stunned silence to murmur of discontent.
John, I can't expel discontent. That was incredible by you.
Wyoming running offense.
They go wherever they want. There's zero will for New Mexico to push anybody off a screen. If this goes in, forget about it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't like it. I love it. Happy Valentine's Day from the three-point line. Brought to you by the Wyoming Cowboys. 9 threes for Wyoming. They can do whatever they want in the half court right now. Smooth offense for the Cowboys.
It is a game-high 16-point lead for Wyoming thanks to a barrage of threes.
Wyoming has not missed a shot in the second half. They're 5 of 5 from the field, including 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Everything's working for the Cowboys. The net is absolutely being torched in the second half by Wyoming.
Keep in mind that New Mexico has not rallied from a deficit larger than 12 to win on the season. Wyoming has outscored New Mexico 13 to 4 since the break. A mini spurt of 6 love in a crisp 47 seconds. And the defense has been dire on a season-worst 3-game slide. New Mexico has allowed 83.5 points per game, with the opponent shooting 54% from the field. That does not include tonight. Alec misses. One and done. Rebound Maldonado. The look of the respective benches, Mike, so different. Ducell's been hot. It's heel. Thompson's got it. Maldonado. Down the lane. Rejected by Odessa.
It's another offensive rebound for Wyoming.
Jenkins. Oh, nice no look. Alec had it stripped. And Wyoming's got it. The probing reach of Kenny Foster.
There needs to be a guy for New Mexico to make a big defensive play, whether it's charge, help defense, locking down one-on-one. Here's Alec right here, who I think's had the most energy for New Mexico tonight.
And here's a foul by Den. That'll be his second.
It's all threes all the time for Wyoming. 9 threes for the Cowboys. Coming off of passes, lackadaisical closeouts, ripping the net.
It's been over 50 years since the Black 14 of Wyoming were dismissed by head coach Lloyd Eaton for asking to wear black armbands during an upcoming game against the BYU Cougars. They wanted to protest the racism they encountered in their previous meeting. Back in 2019, a group of the remaining living players were welcomed back to the school, a celebration that culminated in a dinner where the players were issued an official apology letter from the school. The university has also unveiled a plaque at the football stadium honoring these 14 players as well. CBS Sports celebrates Black history, its limitless culture, and undeniable impact. Happy Black History Month. Well, Jeff Linder's Wyoming Cowboys have held New Mexico scoreless for over 2 minutes. Richard Pitino called a timeout, went to midcourt to speak with an official. But what can he say to his team? What are you seeing from these Lobos?
In my words or Richard Pitino's words?
I guess column A, column B, maybe with translation.
Everything comes down to grit and toughness right now on the defensive end. That's all the communication that needs to happen right now for New Mexico on the bench. Have to play harder, have to be more locked in.
In and out for Foster, Jenkins on the sprint. And New Mexico is a very capable offense with a lot of time left. Mashburn, keep in mind, is on the bench with 3 fouls. And they seem rudderless without House at times. Jenkins misses right off the face of Powell, but tracked down by Wenzel.
And we have been talking about Wyoming's offense a lot, but their defense has been really good, exceptionally solid. This is a New Mexico offense that's the 23rd most efficient offense in the nation per percentage of sports. They're better than Baylor, Arizona, and Houston from an analytics perspective.
Foul to Jenkins, his third. Mashburn had just got on the table. He's going to sub back in.
And that's the guy. He has to get going. You need to put him in ball screen action. He's one of the most efficient ball screen scorers in the country.
He had 32, one off his career high in the loss to Air Force. He dropped 33 in double overtime against Nevada, had 30 of those in regulation. Ducell, pass behind him. Maldonado, 7 to shoot. Alex got him, 5 to shoot. Kiss!
What are you supposed to do? It was really good defense by Alex.
Dent trying to explode. Udeze and the cleanup fouled by Powell. That'll be his first.
6'7" point guard. You have to worry about his threes. 36% from 3. If he doesn't have something he likes, he takes his time. Spin move. That's a fadeaway baby right-handed hook shot from a point guard. How are you supposed to emulate that in practice from a scout report standpoint? You cannot.
This is only the 4th free throw attempt of the game for New Mexico. That's the 3rd make. You pointed it out earlier. They are elite at getting to the line.
7th in the nation in free throw attempts per game. They shoot 25 free throws a game. They're also 7th in the nation in made free throws. They make just over 17 free throws a game.
And Udeze, 2nd most in the Mountain West, tops on the team, misses on the back end. Rebound, Hunter Thompson. Another man who's also top 10 hasn't played, Jalen House, with that hamstring, out for a 2nd straight game. Wenzel, it's heel. Udeze had it, drew the foul.
Great sell by Udeze. I want you to remember that play right there, John, say that. That felt like Udeze was rebounding and playing defense in an angry fashion. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I mean it in a way that that's what Coach Pitino wants.
44, thank you, 44.
The foul was originally charged to Hunter Thompson, but it actually goes to Caden Powell. So it's not Thompson's 3rd, it is Powell's 2nd. Now, I also flash back to their double overtime loss in Reno to Nevada. A giant swing moment was Udeze being assessed with a flagrant on review when he felt, I think he's right, he gets bumped here, that's going to be a 3rd on Powell, that he was fouled, common fouls multiple times before the chin and spin. And that time, you know, the animated cell helps get that call proactively.
A little bit of the Shaq effect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's so physical, he's so big, he's so strong that a guy like Udeze gets fouled constantly. There will probably be, at a minimum, 6 or 7 times throughout the course of a game where he gets fouled and they don't call it. It's how physical and tough and gritty he is in the low post.
Now, even though he gets to the line a lot, he's a 62% shooter. To his credit, when we were leaving shoot-around today, the last Lobo on the floor, it was Udeze who's shooting free throws at the opposite basket. Maldonado. Powell's not sure what to do. Ugly miss. Thompson saves it. And you can feel the crowd for the first time in a long time is trying to aid this Lobo team. Ducell open. Udeze.
Fool's goal defense. Wide open look for 3.
Mashburn on the drive, foul on the floor. That'll be Maldonado's first. Oden subs back in for the Cowboys. Powell is out.
Smashburn semi-transition, little hezzy, absorbs the contact. Does such a good job at drawing fouls. Was that mid-range?
Maldonado rips it down. That is, though, 5 fouls now against Wyoming. So the Lobos are not that far from bonus with a lot of time.
Just a quick little pistol action. Guard on guard screen. They're just going to go right to Maldonado in the post up and let him ISO.
10 to shoot. Odin off the jab step. Jumper miss. Thompson's got it. Mashburn picks up the free ball. Snaps it off corner. Dent off the fake. End line drive. Foul on the floor. Is that going to be Thompson?
New Mexico comes up with a 50-50 ball. Right on the other side of half court. Mashburn comes up with it. Does a really good job of passing ahead. That play doesn't happen unless Mashburn passes ahead in transition.
Foul goes to Odin, his first. So now they're 1 away from bonus. Mashburn off iron. Udeze couldn't handle. Maldonado tracks it down. Sprinting with Dent. Cuts cut. Fouled. And he went into the support of the basket fairly hard. Thankfully padded. He'll go to the line.
Anytime where Wyoming player goes down, Wyoming fans hold their breath. This is Maldonado, another offensive rebound. He's done this his entire career. Absorb contact. Almost impossible to block his shot because this is called trying to finish wide. You see the way he pulls his right arm out to avoid the block shot. It's called finishing wide.
Well, that foul's another biggie. It goes on Dent, his third. He leaves, and Jenkins comes in. So who runs point between Jenkins and Mashburn? And also keep in mind, without House, Jenkins, Dent, and Mashburn each have 3 fouls.
They'll split the point guard duties. And a lot of it is because Mashburn is such a good passer, a willing passer. If he gets it in transition, they're just going to go. They're going to start with him at point right now.
Lobos haven't hit a field goal in almost 6 minutes. This is one of the most explosive offenses in America on the season. Mashburn creates and miss.
Some contact there on that shot as well.
So the drought over, but the deficit still significant. And for the Cowboys, in a maligned year that saw high expectation crash and burn, they have a chance to play big-time spoiler. Aggressive take, Wenzel. Foul! That'll be 4 on Dent. Maldonado getting it done for the Cowboys. It's college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Let's take a look at tonight's game summary, brought to you by AT&T 5G. What do you see?
That's been the big key right there. 14 points, second chance points for Wyoming. They have been the more physical, aggressive team in both halves of basketball, and obviously hitting 9 threes. Not too shabby for the Cowboys.
Correction going to break. I incorrectly said Dent with 4. Dent instead comes back in. It's KJ Jenkins who picked up his 4. So some major foul concern individually for the Lobos. Yes, they have more bodies, but many of them have played minimal or no parts in big games on the year. Jenkins now with 4, Mashburn with 3, Dent with 3. We were told at one point before the game House was not playing. Then we're told he could be used in a worst-case foul or injury situation. Well, that's just about here, and House hasn't left the bench.
I think it's really hard when you're coming back from a hamstring injury and you're sitting on the bench that long. Just being seated for that amount of time, injury or no injury, has an effect on your conditioning and stamina.
Wenzel converts at the line. In a season that has seen stunning results for each of these teams, this night has been perhaps equally as stunning. Mashburn misses. Now, the Lobos on a season-worst 3-game slide have lost 4 of 5. The Cowboys are winless on the road for the last calendar year plus. Odin misses. And Udeze has been the heartbeat of late, but a bad pass. It does find Mashburn. Day off Alex back. Offensive foul. Maldonado got steamrolled.
Is there anything that Hunter Maldonado has not done tonight? We've seen scoring, we've seen steals, we've seen assists, we've seen blocks. That's one of the Hall of Famers right there for Wyoming.
That is 4 on Dent. Now Dent made his second start at point as Barima Sek, who only plays 6 minutes a game, is going to enter for the first time tonight. So Lobos go bigger, Dent goes off. He fouled out in less than 30 minutes in his first start on Friday.
And if you and I can see that New Mexico's going big, so can Jeff Linder. So don't be surprised if you see a lot more 5-out offense for Wyoming to really pull the bigs beyond the three-point line and away from the paint.
6'11" Sek is in, along with Alec and Udeze.
Had him on the roll.
Bowden, end-line drive, pass Sek, reverse.
They went right at him. They hunted Sek and went right at him.
Mashburn trying to create a little flat shot, and he sticks it.
He's second in the nation in mid-range shooting efficiency. He shoots that mid-range at over 52% for Synergy Sports. Crazy good.
He's now at 11, a team high. That's his 47th straight game in double figures. Wenzel, three-point answer. They have been snapping twine all night long.
It's their 10th-3. It even sounds good when they're making threes.
It does. There is a musical element. Alec hesitated on the open look. Conley dribbles Sek, who plays little and had played none tonight until the last few moments. Alec out of the corner. Got it.
That's a great kick by Sek. Very patient in the mid-post. Draws an additional defender. Kick out for 3. Good patience by Sek.
Wenzel. Thompson. All fired. Weak side. Tracked down by Javante Johnson. When the Lobos are at the best, they are flying. Wyoming's made so many shots, they haven't been able to do that a lot tonight. Udeze. Follow.
He's #1 in the Mountain West in post-up scoring efficiency because of plays like that. Keeps it simple, backs you down, finishes over the top, offensive rebound. Big-time feat for Udeze.
Timeout, Wyoming. A 56-41 score here. There is still more to come tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. We're back with another big-time bowl game. 11th ranked Marquette looks for redemption against number 16 Xavier, second meeting of the season. Davidson on the road at St. Louis, and later number 21 San Diego State and Fresno State go head-to-head. The Aztecs' first league loss came as a true rarity at home. And that came at the hands of New Mexico. What do you see in the Aztecs?
Well, net ranking, obviously, they played the third toughest schedule, games against Kansas and Alabama. 20 wins in all of 6 seasons under Coach Dutcher. It's almost just the norm right now. And their defense is fantastic. Their offense is efficient. Very little things that San Diego State does not do well. This is going to be a high seed, a good seed for the San Diego State Aztecs in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Wyoming this year winless on the road, 0-6, scoring less than 65 a game, getting blown out in most of those matchups. All but 2 saw them lose by a dozen or more. They haven't won on the road since the 12th of February last year at San Jose State.
And the three-point line is what's really helped them tonight. They've hit 10 threes against this New Mexico defense.
So a team with 8 scholarship players, one of whom hadn't played in 2 months before tonight, has been just about wire to wire dominating New Mexico.
John, you've watched a lot of college basketball in your day. Does this look like a 70-17 team to you?
Not at all. Oh, aggressive take. Caden Powell. And there is a connected fun factor to how Wyoming is playing that conversely, I don't think we're seeing with New Mexico.
No question about it. Well played.
Tough shot. Fall away. Javante Johnson. But Richard Pitino's mantra, particularly in the immediate wake of the Air Force game, repeated some on his coach's show last night with us today, has been a bit of a wake-up call to his team. They have to defend better.
Season ended tonight. They're in the NCAA tournament. Cannot have 4 losses in a row as you're building a resume. So it's really been Wyoming all night long because of plays like that. Little hezzy, dump down, tough finish by the freshman. New Mexico trying to answer. Johnson's been good, mid-range, trying to get the Lobos back in.
58-43, Wyoming stunning New Mexico late second half. Coming up next, our hoops experts are in studio as they highlight the latest hardwood clashes across the nation. It's Inside College Basketball. Brent Stover, Shelvin DeMack, John Rothstein, Gary Parrish here on CBS Sports Network. Well, Mike O'Donnell, continuing on the theme, I choose you to show us the Mountain West love.
Well, the team that I love, what's not to love about San Diego State? The net ranking of 19, and they're 19-5, top 35 in Ken Palm's adjusted offense and defensive efficiency. Although Utah State teasing me a little bit. Wyoming broke my heart, broke everybody's heart, just because of how decimated they've been through injuries with their high expectations coming into the season, and the team playing hard to get. The Lobos tonight can't quite figure them out. 19-6, they got off to that 14-0 start. They open up Mountain West play 2-0. Then they lose to Fresno and Colorado State. Then they win 5-6. Then they lose their last 3 games leading into tonight. Hard to figure out the Lobos.
At home against a Wyoming team that on the year had been dreadful on the road. And you applaud the effort and execution of the Cowboys, but Barnhart over and back couldn't handle with the timer ticking down to 5.
As a coach of a team that's down at home, the defense is struggling. It's not playing well. Is there a play that you can look back to say, this is what ignited us to go on a run?
Sack-headed flick 3 by Dussel, tracked down by Odin.
Maybe not that play.
Cowboys run offense. Clock, though, is on Wyoming's side to roll. Rather deliberate offense. Odin dragging Udeze into the lane travel. And immediately Thompson to the table to sub in along with Brendan Wenzel.
It's a good job by Udeze. Moving his feet, hands are up, takes it in the chest. Clearly a trap.
Keep in mind the Lobos down to the dead KJ Jenkins, each on the bench with 4 fouls. House hasn't played all night with a hamstring.
They tried to go inside, but Maldonado did a great job pressuring the post-entry pass.
Mashburn contested 2 and through.
Nobody better in college basketball at the mid-range jumper than Jamal Mashburn.
Foul by Alec. It'll be his second. And bonus time arrives. So Maldonado, a 71% shooter, will go to the line for 1-1.
Now that Wyoming's in the bonus, it's just an extra gift. It's like getting an extra box of chocolates on Valentine's Day. Breathe, catch your breath, mini timeout. Maldonado's played a ton of minutes tonight.
And you can see how intensely angry Richard Pitino has been. He still is. Four on Jenkins, 4 on Dent. Three on the Mashburn. And that silence returns to one of the loudest arenas in college basketball.
17 points for Maldonado. We've got a 1-3-1 zone for the Cowboys.
Why break this out here?
You slowed New Mexico down enough on man-to-man. Now you have an opportunity to catch your breath, and they immediately shift back to man-to-man.
And Johnson hits again.
That was a dangerous pass. Maldonado saved that on the inbounds.
Lobos have hit their last 4 from the floor. Draw back within 13.
They missed up on the switch. Gave Maldonado space, and he's going to get fouled. That's that guard-on-guard ball screen. It's called pistol action. Wyoming runs it all the time to get Hunter Maldonado in a post-up. Here's the pistol action. They got the ball screen already, and there was miscommunication between Mashburn and Alec. That gave Maldonado a perfect angle to get deep in the post.
And now add Alec to the foul issue. That's his third. Maldonado with 3 in double figures for the Cowboys. Now Jenkins back in. Seck subs out. You got no choice, right? 4 fouls or not. Have to. In and out. Mashburn. Hit by Dussel. He thought he got ball. That's going to be his third.
Jamal Mashburn went 100 miles an hour off that rebound outlet pass. Sprinted. He's got a great crossover because he crossed over into space. That's a lot of ball, John Sadak. A lot of ball.
Mashburn at the line shooting 2, 80% shooter. Richard Pitino's silver lining in what's been a very cloudy Valentine's Day, despite how dominant Wyoming has been for long stretches, it feels like the margin should be much bigger than it is, and by New Mexico's season-long standards, there's an incredible amount of time.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the way that Wyoming plays, and their pace on the offensive end can be slow and deliberate. So it's very hard for them to just get out to huge leads. It's a slow trickle over time.
Well, we saw Seck come in for Jenkins. Is this going to be offense, defense down the stretch?
It has to be for the rest of the 5:30 here.
Thompson leads for Wenzel. Back to Thompson. Tipped by Alec. Controlled by Wenzel. No possession exchange. 10 to shoot. Thompson wide open. In and out. Friendly fire. Udeze wins it.
Wasn't ready to shoot it. You could tell the way it came off his hand.
You feel like New Mexico's on the verge of a run.
It feels like it. It's got to come from Mashburn, though. He has to be the guy to take over in games like this.
Johnson with the fake, got Odin in the air. Alec Rainbow, yes! He is a 14% outside shooter. He had 4 threes all year. Maldonado, it's his game.
And he's got a lot of game. How many point guards can make a play like that in ISO against a player like Alec, who's 6'9"?
That's the first made field goal for the Cowboys in almost 4 minutes. Seck screaming for it. Udeze says no. He draws the foul from Thompson. That's going to be his 4th. Making his 3rd.
Just 14% from 3. Sometimes you just got to have guys step up and make a 3. There's the answer. Alec could not slow down Maldonado on that crossover. Tough finish with the right hand on the left side.
Udeze, it's heel. And New Mexico is top dominant on the year. But tonight, Richard Pitino's team is 4 in double figures, including Udeze.
And New Mexico has only taken 9 free throws tonight. It's a team that averages 25 free throw attempts a game. And I'm thinking 2 things about New Mexico offensively. I'm putting Mashburn and ball screen every single time. And if I don't have that, I'm going inside to Udeze. Wyoming starting to hurt in their front court from a fouling standpoint.
Maldonado. Ducell saw seam, he cuts. Bucket. And Richard Pitino has both palms up in the air, then hands to his head, asking what happened on that defense. Lobos have got hot. Mashburn, overplay by Ducell. Has it knocked free. Timeout, New Mexico.
A hustle play by Ducell. Every time where you think New Mexico's kind of going on a run, Wyoming seems to have an answer. It's the simple things. Downhill drives for the Cowboys. Getting it done.
Wyoming leads at New Mexico 65-53, under 4. We take a look at tonight's Old Trapper Beef Jerky Player of the Game, Hunter Maldonado of Wyoming.
And Maldonado has played every minute of this game. He's got 20 points, 8 rebounds, and more importantly, he's drawn 6 fouls. He's 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Maldonado has been sensational tonight on the road.
A complete effort, but there's still time left. And remember, when these teams clashed on New Year's Eve, it was free throw shooting down the stretch that allowed Jamal Mashburn to overcome a poor field goal day to ultimately win it. Maldonado is 4 assists shy of 600 lifetime.
Mexico's really good here. They're second in the nation in baseline out-of-bounds scoring efficiency because of plays like that.
And Jenkins missed the wide-open 3, and the Cowboys have the ball. At what time and margin are you considering fouls?
Probably got to go. You got 1 more minute here before you're really starting to think about fouling as you're looking for steals.
Conversely, you work this clock?
Absolutely. That's their game. Why change it now? That has to be a foul.
Back door. Miss and the follow. Jeremiah Odin. Mashburn lost the handle. Odin to the floor. Tipped. Controlled by Mashburn, who does it mid-lane. Hit and fouled by Maldonado. It'll be a foul on the floor, but it is bonus.
What a smart play by Hunter Maldonado. Fouling, knowing he's only got 1 foul. There's a great backdoor cut. Thought the finish was going to happen. Almost a travel there. Offensive rebound put back by Odin. No weak side box outs. You see New Mexico? Everybody's standing, watching. Nobody's putting a body on any Wyoming player. 10 offensive rebounds for the Cowboys.
These are the last 1-and-1 free throws of the game. Converts on the front end. It'll be double bonus both teams rest of the way. Dese below average at the line of the year. It's 1 of 2. Sextet is off. Maldonado wins it.
And again, that's such a smart foul by Hunter Maldonado. He only had 1 foul going into that play. He knows that he's a poor free throw shooter. Odeze is. Foul him, make him earn it. And you just tick, tick, tick here. Take your time. This is about the last possession before you got to start thinking about fouling.
Double. Thompson wide open. Hits heel. Rebound Wyoming. And you can see Jeff Linder say, back up and dribble.
They're going to play it straight up again.
Maldonado taken away by Alec. Mashburn transition triple. Udeze off. Wenzel's got it. Now you foul him?
I would think so. Or you're at least trying to go for a steal and play aggressive. Get up into the ball handler and try to create chaos like you did on that previous play. But Alec looks a little bit tired. You have to make a play on the ball here. Have to.
Elbow J on the way. Udeze. They lost West, about 25 seconds there. Good anticipation and steal by Maldonado. Under 90 seconds. What would a setback here mean for the Lobos as many fans head for the exits?
Devastating, because you're immediately on the wrong side of the bubble right now. So if New Mexico ends up losing this game, you're on the wrong side of the bubble, and you're probably looking at having, not probably, likely having to win the Mountain West tournament when they get in.
Johnson misses. Maldonado's got it. And the Cowboys bleed clock. New Mexico is essentially conceding it.
What an unbelievably gritty performance by Wyoming. Undersized, undermanned, on the road, haven't been playing well.
Wenzel. Yes!
Guess where the assist came from? Hunter Maldonado.
He had a double-double tonight. There's a 3.5-second differential. Ashburn in and out. Sec follow off. The Wyoming Cowboys, the preseason #2 pick in the Mountain West, have enjoyed a season of terrible disappointment. The high expectation plummeted with a barrage of injury, of defection, of opportunity lost. But tonight, they come to the pit, one of the toughest places to play in college basketball. And Wyoming has its first road win in over a calendar year. Its first at the pit in 7 seasons. So the 9-game skid on the road is gone. This is how it impacts the Mountain West standings. New Mexico at 6-7, a losing mark in league play. Wyoming just its 3rd league win of the year. And the Lobos remain still 1 win shy of their first 20-win campaign in a decade. It's now a season worst 4-game losing streak and setbacks in 5 of 6. Let's go to Mike O'Donnell with the winning head man, Jeff Linder.
Yeah, I got you now. Okay, got Coach Linder here. Coach, on the road, grittiness, toughness. You guys are undermanned, undersized, tons of injuries. What can you say about your group tonight?
I mean, I'm just so proud of our guys' effort. I mean, all the things that we've had to go through this season, and to have those guys in that locker room who I mean, all they care about is the University of Wyoming. They care about their teammates, and for them, all the hard work that those guys have put in. And those guys, most of those guys in the locker room, they've been with me through COVID, through an NCAA tournament team, through this year. And man, I love those guys, and this guy right here, Maldonado. I mean, for him, basically playing with one arm to come out and play with that type of effort. I mean, just all my guys. I mean, just a hell of a win.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats. And Hunter, I got to ask you, man, on the road, everybody's going to talk about the injuries and you guys missing time, but you come on the road, you play against a hostile environment, you have a bunch of guys step up. It's not just you scoring, it's your assists. How important was this win for you guys and your legacy?
I think it's really important. At the end of the day, we've been finding ways to get pretty close to winning, and we took a step today on our first road win, a true road win, especially here. I think it's just so special.
Congrats on the win, Hunter.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mike. For Mike O'Donnell and our entire CBS crew, I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. The Cowboys come to Albuquerque and rain down threes. They led for almost 38 minutes and get off the schneid on the road. Headed your way next, Perspective. We go to our New York studios. It's inside college basketball. Your final, 70-56, Wyoming.